Hello, welcome everybody to proMX Dynamics Week. My name is Yelena Yaruchik and I will be your moderator today. And today is the first day from our whole week event. And this day will be connected to our latest apps and solutions which were made by proMX team. And today's session will be, we will have two parts of this session. The first part will be about proMX 365 for construction. This is a professional solution for engineers and architects. And the second part of the session will be regarding our 3 add-ons. This is the holiday management, travel expenses, and resource planning. So feel free to ask questions. As usually, you can ask them in our Q&A session. And of course, we will have the last session tomorrow in the morning. It will be at 9 p.m. and at 9 a.m. right? And this session will be connected to field service and marketing tool. And as a good tradition, we will show you actually how we did this whole event and how you also can do that for your team and for your company. And yeah, let's go back to this session. And I would like to introduce you our speakers today. With us today, Ksenia Verpeta. She's our strategic partnership management and our international sales manager, Marina Proskorovska. So girls, stage is yours. Let's start.
Hi guys, hi Lena, thank you so much for the introduction. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us this week. So my name is Ksenia Verpeta, I'm a Strategic Partnerships Manager at proMX, and I'm very happy today to talk with you about our new offerings from proMX team. So let's take a quick look at our agenda, and let me share my screen. Okay, so today you will learn about our new add-ons to Dynamics 365 project operations. It's travel expenses, holiday management, and advanced resource planning. But before, I would like to talk a little bit about Microsoft solution. Though on the previous days of our Dynamics week, you might have already learned a lot about Dynamics 365 project operations. For those of you who haven't seen our previous sessions, you will have a chance to watch the recordings later after our event. So it is very important to understand the impact of project operations solution, not only on the Dynamics ecosystem, but also on the entire service-based business market. More and more organizations are interested in powering their business lifecycle with this end-to-end solution. So being a leader of Microsoft Dynamics 365 for many years, we know exactly what business require of their software solutions and what kind of needs can be covered by our add-ons. And this leads us to our first add-on in this session, which is called travel expenses. Of course, nowadays there are less employees who travel, unfortunately, but I'm sure that either you or your colleagues had numerous business trips before and planning to continue after COVID-19 pandemic is over. So once you face a problem, you will never forget about it. Do you remember those days when you jumped from one trip to another and in between tried to keep all your receipts with you and spend lots of time filling Excel files, the information about your expenses? Then forwarding this to your back office, and if you were not lucky, also spend some time to clarify this information with your accountant. So for those companies who want to automate this process, which involves several people from different departments, we created travel expenses add-on. So once the product is installed in your Dynamics environment, you will see a travel tab in the navigation bar on the left-hand side. In the Travel tab, you will be able to see all your travel reports, create new travels, select a customer, project, and a country of travel. Specify the reason of your trip, category of expenses, whether it public transport or a meal or etc., and the dates. The system also automatically calculates the total duration and per diems. Per diem settings can be added and updated separately for every country. You can also add a text rate, full or reduced, upload a photo of your receipt, which is very useful, select a manager or add, if needed, a new user to approve your expenses, and see the status of your travel expense reimbursement. So as a result, it will be easier and faster for you and your colleagues to submit the travel reports and approve the costs. Invoice more detailed travel bills to your customers. Easy manage reimbursements of costs to each employee. And also keep the information about all kind of expenses of the entire organization in one place. So moving to our next add-on, in addition to the control of your travel costs, you can also manage your holiday requests. So this add-on is called Holiday Management, simple as useful as it is. So when you started using project operations from Microsoft for project and resource management, the schedule board has helped you to get a handle on who is doing what. But situations change dynamically, and it is difficult to stay up to date of changes to client projects, internal initiatives, and holidays. So holiday management meets these needs and provides an easy way to keep up with this information. The app calculates how many absence days you have requested, how many days have been approved, and how many days are remaining for a given year. For each user, you can define a holiday allowance that specifies how many days of vacation a user can take. It is also possible to record national specific holidays automatically and avoid constantly updating holidays one by one. And you can define a list of holidays per region and apply them to a group of users. Approved holidays get automatically added to users' calendars as time offs, and they appear as non-working days on your schedule board. So as a result, project tasks cannot be planned on those days, which makes the resource planning more accurate. It allows you to retain control over different types of absence in your planning and not by manually updating them in calendars. So once again, everything you need to manage your team and projects effectively is in one solution. And moving to our next new add-on for project operations, it is also about improving the resource planning functionality. So what we did here, we made the process of resource planning quick and easier. So we simplified usability and changes to existing projects. There is no additional effort needed to select a time scale for your review. It can be per month, per week, or per day. We simplified the change of existing resource planning for a given project. So you just need to select a team member, click on Edit, and type the amount of hours and click on Save. Also, users can see directly overbookings of team members and aggregated values, capacity, and availability across all going projects. We also optimized some of the features as focus of planning. In PSA, it was program-driven based on resource and role, and now it is project-driven based on project team member. We also changed the role who can assign resources to the projects to mainly project management role. And integrated planning not into the schedule board, but directly into the project record form, and changed the resource optimization to be mainly based on capacity and availability. To learn more about this solution or any other proMX product, you can request a demo through our website or send me a message on LinkedIn or via email. So as you would like. And moving to the next and interesting part of our presentation today is the pricing. So as you can see, the prices are very attractive. You can buy add-on at the price of 10 euros per user per month, or you can buy a package of 3 any add-ons, and that the cost will be 18 euros per user per month, which is really cost effective. And just to make sure that you know all about our products that are available on AppSource for you, here is a list of them. So it is time tracking that allows your team to record a detailed project-related working time and expenses. Loved by every project management team, Project Gantt. It provides multi-customer view and multi-project Gantt view. And approval manager that gives additional capabilities for project managers. Also, there is an interesting solution for Dynamics 365 sales. It is for project and resource management, like a small alternative to project operations, but for small teams. And later in this session, you will learn more about our new industry solution, proMX 365 for construction. So thank you all today for participating with us. I hope that you received a lot of new information about our upcoming products. So if you have any questions, you can drop me a line, and please stay with us. My colleague Marina will continue our session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ksenia. Thank you very much. That was really amazing to see and to hear those apps. And this is so wondering, like, I'm really wondering, they are so simple, but they are so useful. This is a really great stuff. I think, yeah, I also need to learn a bit more of those things. And yeah, let's continue with Marina.
Yeah, let's go on. So hello, everyone again. The solution I'm going to be speaking of today, as Ksenia mentioned before, is proMX 365 for construction, which is also one of the latest additions to the product family of the proMX solutions. And it's also our first industry solution. So let me share my screen with you. And this is also the solution that we have been really working on for quite some time. And the trigger for developing this product was actually, and releasing the product was actually the release and the announcement of Microsoft Project Operations. So we've done like a lot of construction projects over the years, and they were kind of the inspiration for this product as well, because after working with multiple companies of various sizes and specialties, all working in construction, we noticed there is a set of requirements that almost always comes up in the projects. So it seemed like a perfectly like timed and sensible way to package all of those customizations and requirements into a single solution, which would give kind of an out-of-the-box functionality for those construction companies. So the product covers like not just the project management phase of the development, it also starts with the sales and goes into the billing section as well. So as you can see on this slide, there are multiple features added to the solution. There are some of our renowned applications, such as Project Gantt and time tracking, which have been present with proMX for quite some time, but there are also new functions, and there are even new entities which we added to the product to make it, again, a better fit for the business flow within the construction industry. And as a customer using project operations with proMX for construction, you basically get an already pre-configured system, and as a reseller, you get actually a really strong case for those companies who want to use project operations but want something more targeted towards their specific needs and their business processes. So when we were looking at the features we would want to add, we kind of stuck to the approach that less is more sometimes, because we didn't want to overcomplicate it. So we added all the vital necessary ones, but still kept the system quite high performing and productive to use. So I suggest we start off with the opportunity management and what we've done on this side. So there are some overall improvements in the business flow we've made, also some entities which I'm going to show you in just a little bit, and we also worked a lot on reconfiguring a little bit an overall feel and view of the system within the opportunity and the sales module, so that it is more applicable to the construction industry users. So starting off with the opportunity entity, probably some of you are already familiar with how it looked in CRM and how it looks like now in project operations. So you can see that there were some changes made to it. So we have added some fields, such as the category for the specific opportunity. Again, it's a construction specific categories that your user can already select from, so no customizations needed on that side. And also we've added a field for the customer industry, which seems like a quite subtle addition. However, it's quite useful because if we are talking about working with a large company who could have a manufacturing branch, a research branch, etc., it's quite essential to know early on the project stage how this project is going to go based on what kind of company branch we're dealing with. And probably one of the most noticeable additions in terms of the sales process and then the project process is the addition of new entity, which is the object entity. And you can see it now on the screen. So that's basically a new entity within the system. And it's, again, really construction specific. This is basically where you can input all the information about the construction object that you will be working on or already may be working on. It has all the necessary fields already. However, obviously there is a possibility to extend those now that the entity is already in the system. But overall, it has all the vital information you would need for managing the kind of the project, construction project you're working on. And this entity is the one that is going to travel from the opportunity then to the quote, then to the order, and later on into the project. Which makes it really easy and manageable, so you don't need to find the places where you could input this kind of information about the number of the floors within the building you're working on, or the year of completion. You don't need to use notes, etc. And so this also gives you a really structured and well-balanced data within the system when working on the project. And we also did some customizations to the project orders. So in the case when you have maybe diverse departments, and to give a little bit more overview of how the project is going to the sales department, we have also added some actuals to the project tab of the order, so that you can in real time track the progress on the project and maybe take action if that is needed. The next section we're going to talk about is the project management section, which is again going to feature some applications which I've already mentioned, as well as extensions to the entities already existing in the system, pre-existing ones. So if we start off with the project entity, which is kind of the core one in this case, you can see that we again have the object entity within it, which is one of the core ones going through all of those. We have also added the controlling data within the system directly into the project summary. So you can see already some KPIs. We've also added some nice functionality to track the overall progress of the project with the project status capabilities and the project trend capabilities. So you can define how the project is performing at this specific moment and how you think it's going to perform over time. And then again, it's a really good way to structure data and projects, just that you could sort them out using this criteria and take action when it's specifically needed and not overdo those. You can see that we have also added another field which is called total recorded hours, which is again something we were often asked about it. And basically this field shows you the data on the hours which your employees have recorded on the project but haven't submitted yet, which is again a really good controlling tool, so that you know not only about the submitted and like approved hours, but also about the ones which are currently in the draft mode. But this gives you a good chance to check like how well the project is going and at which stage the project's tasks are in right now. The next tab that we have added to the project entity is the controlling tab, which again gives you a really good overview of all the project KPIs, again including some real-time data about the draft hours, not only the actuals, which is again something that we really often ask, especially within the companies who have more like resources and employees on hand and do not have a chance like to track this data manually in efficient manner. It's really good to get a single screen with all the overviews you could be needing for taking project actions or monitoring the project. And the last but not the least, we've also added a specific tab for the project risks, which basically allows you to define some some risks for your specific project and build a risk matrix based on those. So it is kind of a system of predictability of the project overall performance and delivery. Yeah, again, it's quite a handy one. So we're waiting for some further updates from project operations on the project risk as well. But that's our look and our view at this specific issue that project managers are often facing. One of the most requested features, I would say, is our Project Gantt application. And so you can see a brief screenshot of it, which gives an overall understanding of what the product is going to do for you in the system. So as probably many of you know, that now Microsoft for the web is integrated within project operation. The customers will get a possibility to work within the Project Gantt charts directly within project operations, but the project managers are still left to the point where they have to work with one project at a time. So basically our Project Gantt eliminates these issues and allows you to view multiple projects at the same time. Projects from different accounts. There are no actual limitations to the amount of data you could be loading into the solution. So it's possible to load like maybe even all the projects you have in the system. The application also, like what you see now is the Gantt mode of the application. It also has the controlling mode with the KPIs, which I have shown you before in the project entity. So again, you could use this application for monitoring and controlling your project status, not only the like planning out and resource scheduling functionality, which is again something that I suppose many project managers need, and it supports all the filters and all the view functionality from the standard dynamics world. So you can really filter out the data to some narrow results, or you can get an overview of all the projects within the company, which is kind of like a really great tool that we actually even use internally as well. So again, that's something that we get really often asked about. Then we have also had some improvements made on the time and cost tracking side of the project planning and project management. We have our scheduler application, which I'm going to show you just in a little bit. We have done the integration to Microsoft Outlook, so now it's possible to track the Outlook like meetings, events, etc. directly into your tracking application in Dynamics. And also we have, of course, our usual the start and end time handling for the time entry. So this is the look of our application. So it really looks like a scheduler, really the view that most Microsoft users are used to. You can select a specific time period right on the board here and just right click to create the new time entry or a new expense as well, all from the one application. You can again specify the start and end time, not only the date, the start and end time of the time entry that you're entering. You can add additional details to the time entry, and directly from this screen, directly from this application, you can as well submit all those for the approval for further approval manager. And again, you can switch between different views. You can switch between different working hour models, which is again something that the company can customize for themselves. So you can create multiple working hour models for your users, and they will see them highlighted on this screen as well. So like it's really hard to mess that up. And the solution also has the resources tab, which would allow you as a project manager to view multiple resources time entries on this scheduler screen at the same time, which is again really handy functionality for the project manager specifically. And one of the later stages of the project manager is the customer billing. So we have added to proMX for constructions the application that Ksenia has already talked about, which is for handling of travel time tracked to the project. But we have also added some functionality to the product and resource custom build and cost rates. So if you go into the resource role, we have added for you the possibility to specify for each bookable resource a specific cost role, which is again something that we have often faced was required on a project. So if we were talking about a company that has employees with multifunctions who could be assisting in different projects with different roles, not to let them stick to the prices for those project rates and project roles. You can specify a cost role for this specific resource, and then it's going to be at the top in the hierarchy of the cost roles of resources on the project, and it's going to override that. So if you have a consultant working maybe in a pre-sales, but his cost role is set to a consultant, he's still going to be charged as a consultant on this specific project task, which is great for this specific person. And another addition is that we have added the possibility to create custom cost rates for the projects. Again, no need to bother and go into doing that each time manually. So you can create a custom cost role for your construction project and use it for billing the customer and the project billings automatically. So the product is fully compatible with Microsoft Dynamics 365 for project operations, so you can go ahead and install it already in your system. It is actually applicable for the construction companies of any size, so it's possible that a smaller company in your range would also find it really useful and handy, because the functionalities in it is quite essential for most of the companies, especially involved in architecture and planning. Again, the product has a seamless integration into Dynamics 365, so it enables you to access all the Microsoft Cloud Platform solutions that you might need, and that the whole scope of those great features only comes for the price of 18 euros per user per month, which is basically a really fair price for the solution that allows you to really simplify and ease the onboarding for construction companies and give them the system where they would probably feel more at home and more native as users. Thank you a lot for the attention.
Thank you very much, Marina, for your interesting presentation. We are, as I see, we are already taking care about the questions which are online. And yeah, I would give couple of minutes more so people can just collect some other questions on our Q&A session. Just one small reminder about the surveys. I would like to ask you to submit our feedback survey so we can do our next sessions and next events better, more interesting, or there is some specific topics you want to hear. So please put there all your questions and your feedback. I will be really appreciate for that. And as I said that on the very beginning, we will have next session tomorrow in the morning, and it will be connected to the marketing tool, especially how to organize online event. And there are a lot of new updates which were coming with the wave 2. And there will be also the other part which will be connected to supply chain management full service. Okay, give me a second. I will check our Q&A session. Yeah, I think that we already answered all questions. So yeah, in case there will be more questions, feel free to contact us at look@proMX.net. We always happy to answer any kind of questions you have. And of course, if you forgot or didn't participate previous sessions, or just forgot to register on them, you can do that. You can again send us email to look@proMX.net, and we will send you all recordings which we did during this week. Okay, I think there is no more questions. I think that's it for today. Yeah, we really do appreciate for your participation as usually, and have a great day or evening wherever you are, and stay safe. See you tomorrow.